What's up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to review Snowfall Season 6, Episode 5. So if you have not seen the 5th episode of Season 6 of Snowfall, turn this video off right now. Go watch the episode, come back and watch this video. Anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. These are my thoughts and my feelings and my expressions and coming out of my mouth. Anything that comes out of my mouth, I just lost my train of thought. I'm high, y'all. If you watch my review of episode 4, you know why I'm stuttering now. I'm not a public speaker, so I will be stuttering like I just did, or losing my train of thought, maybe. And I'll be looking to my notes over here, make sure I'm on track. It's the morning time, so I was just drinking some water, but now I'm drinking coffee. Ooh, it's very hot. Alright, I don't want to burn my tongue before I start talking. Alright, last chance if you have not seen episode 5 of season 6 of Snowfall, turn this video off right now because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. So, I'm going to grade this episode another A+, because I graded episode 4 A+. This is an A+ too. They is getting to it, like, they letting us know this the final season. They is getting to it. Like, this episode was Franklin. I love when Franklin get in this bag. That's the toxicity in me. Franklin just, Everybody not liking Franklin after this episode, but I don't care. Like, I love me some Franklin. Fine chocolate self. Anyway, all right, let's get into it. So the first scene, I'm assuming that Franklin's baby mom. Well, yeah, ain't no assuming. They're Franklin's baby mom and the mom. They in Kansas City, and they in the car, and they talking to basically the mom talking about we should take a trip. Just basically telling her like trying to tell her she need to get away from Franklin. Talking about Franklin not the man for her. Talking about, and she was like, "Oh, so you the relationship? I mean, you the best person to give advice on men, basically." And the mother was like, "Well, you see where I went wrong, so I'm the perfect person to be giving you this advice and stuff like that." She asking her what's her exit plan, like if this don't pan out. And she's like, "It's gonna work." Then she just telling him like, even if Franklin get his money back, it's still gonna be y'all looking over y'all shoulder every day, all that type of stuff. So then they was like, "There you go. Is that him or something like that?" So they watching this. I guess it's a nurse. Well, it's not. I guess because we done seen the episode now, but it's a nursing home that they was because I remember on the last episode I did remember them saying something about a nursing home. They just didn't. It was very vague about it. So they was staking out this nursing home, and Teddy's dad is the one staying at this nursing home. Now I forgot all about Teddy's dad. We ain't seen Teddy's dad, I don't think, since like season 1 or 2. So I forgot all about this dude. Like after Teddy's brother died at the funeral, I think that was the last time we seen Teddy's dad. I can't remember. They was like, "There you go, right there," and I think they they was like, "There you go, right there." So the baby mother, she called Franklin. That's sad. I need to learn the baby mother's name. But I haven't cared for her since they brought her on. Because first of all, they just brung her out of nowhere. What was it, season 4 or season 5 she came into play? I don't know, but she just popped up. And they was just like, just wanted us to supposed to believe this relationship with her and Franklin. And I'm just like, no offense to her, but they got her looking... I'm not even going to say too much. I don't know. And plus I think she was sneaky. Because they just sprung her on us. So I don't know. But anyway, she calls Franklin and tells him, "Okay, we see Teddy's dad. Like, how soon can you get out here, basically?" Ooh, look at my eyes. It looked like my eyes was rolling behind my head. I don't know. She was like, we found Teddy's dad. How soon can you get out here? And Franklin was like, I'd be there in 24 hours, basically. And they get off the phone. And, oh, maybe I should have said she pages Franklin. And then Franklin calls her. And she tells him that they found Teddy's dad. How soon can you get here? He says 24 hours. So Franklin get off the phone. And he with Kane. I guess they hiding out after they just got shot at, all that. They know it was Jerome and Louie. So Kane starts getting like defensive. He like basically he don't think Franklin trying his hardest to like find Jerome and Louie. He was like he was like, we're gonna stay here all night until you think of something, basically. And then Franklin look at the TV and it's like horse racing on. So that gave him an idea, which we see later on in this episode. So the dirty ex-cop, the one that used to work for the NYPD, that's on Jerome and Louie payroll. I don't remember his name. I don't feel like he ain't one of my favorite characters, so it's just like I don't care to remember his name. So he pop up on Jerome and Louie. He basically telling them like Kane survived, he ain't get hit, and they like, how that happen? Like, how that happen? He telling them like, you ain't gonna believe this. He was like, Franklin was there and pulled him out. So now, because last episode I was wondering to myself, did Jerome and Louie know that Kane and Franklin was together when they got shot at? But we see now that they didn't know Franklin was there. Because when he said Franklin was dead and Franklin pulled him out, they looked at each other like, Jerome and Louie looked at each other like, oh man. Not in the way where they feel remorse that Franklin was dead. They was looking in a way like, damn, this nigga was dead, and like, and he helped him get out. So now they gonna be trying to team up. Because they probably also thinking that Franklin probably thinking that they did know he was dead. So Franklin probably definitely ain't messing with him. And he definitely ain't messing with Louie, because we see in this episode, he'll get into it. So Wanda and Leon, they in the house right after this fight done happened. Wanda like trying to like tend to his wounds and stuff. She's like, you need to go to a hospital. And he's like, nah, basically. You know, he's trying to thug it out. So it's a knock on the door, and it's Dion's little henchman or whatever. And before he opened the door, Wanda was like, Dion with you? And I was in my head like, he better not be. Like, why would he be at the door after he just went down bad like that? Like, no, that was stupid. But anyway, so they was like, nah. So they open the door, they come in. It's like three henchmen and the little young calculator dude. So they telling Leon, like, look, Dion, he done dipped, he done went and stayed at his little Joan house somewhere out far. And he took all the product with him. Like, if you going, like, what's the next move? Basically asking what's his next move, because you just dogged this nigga and said, this my ish, nigga. So, what's your next move? After he beat Dion up, he was like, this my ish, nigga. So, they basically asked him what's next. So, and then Wanda was like, dang, he just, like, it just happened. Like, let him get a minute or whatever. They ain't trying to hear that. So Leon just like, damn, like, he asked him a question. He was like, was it better before or after I came back? So that's when one of the henchmen, like the lead, I guess the number 2 under Dion, whatever. He was like, with all due respect. No, he was like, we respect you and how you make moves and all that and the type of person you are. He was like, but you just confusing us because you out here and you banging and you doing all this gangster stuff, but then you want to go to Africa, you want to make change. He was like, you went to Africa and wiped up a crackhead, and Leon got defensive, got up, ready to rough with him. He was like, no disrespect. And he was like, my bad, Wanda. And Wanda was like, this is like, they just keep coming for Wanda. It's messed up. Let that girl live in her change. So they basically like, look, is you gonna step up, or is you gonna step up? Because if not, then you gonna have to get out the way, basically. Because somebody gotta do it. And Wanda said something. I can't remember what she said. What did Wanda say? Let me see if I wrote what Wanda said. I don't think I wrote what Wanda said. Wanda said something like, if they ain't gonna do it, I mean, she said something. So then Leon, he get up, he go outside. And he started big dogging everybody. He's like, who won it? Come get, like, basically calling anybody out. Like, you wanna go? Let's go. He's like, I see y'all out here, y'all all pussy, y'all all weak, all that, basically. Just calling them hella bees and pussies and all that. Talking about business gonna start as usual tomorrow. And you gotta come to me, basically, like, I'm head honcho now, telling everybody this. And Wanda, she just looking like, man. Did I miss something he said? Yeah. That's basically what he say. So then we get this same Gustavo. He pop up on this girl. Her friend was like, you have some nerve popping up on her, cabron. And so it's like, it's like, call them all type of pendejos and stuff. So, oh dang, cursing in Spanish, maybe. Is that a fine? I don't know. But anyway, he pop up on her. She ain't really feeling him, but she wants to talk just to get away from her nagging friend that probably. So Gustavo, he finally tells her everything. He tells her about the DEA, KGB, and everything with Teddy, all that stuff, what's going on with Teddy and stuff. He tell her now, like, basically he in witness protection, he gonna have to go into hiding and all that stuff. And he telling her, like, he telling her this, and she like, I'm not even trying to go into witness protection with my 2 kids. What type of life is that? This, that, and the third. So he was like, if you're not going to go in witness protection, you got to run, like, basically tonight. Because all this stuff, this raid and stuff, supposed to be transpiring in 24 hours. Like, and Gustavo's supposed to be getting the KGB do his answer in 24 hours. So a whole lot of stuff about to be happening in Gustavo's life in 24 hours. And then I wouldn't put it past people to snatch her up or her kids or whatever just to get to Gustavo. So he telling her, yeah, you need to leave. And she's talking about, I'm not running, I'm not going to witness protection, I'm not doing none of that. And I was just like, this is why in so many movies, people like that die, because people try to come and warn you, and you don't want to hear nothing. That's the problem. Like, if somebody tell you run, you run. You ain't got to tell a black person twice. I mean, I get it, upending your life, but in her situation, her character situation, you ain't got much there. You ain't got much in the environment you in right now. So I say run, not witness protection, but I say run. But at the same time, I don't know, in her situation. Because you don't want to be with the feds. You can't trust them neither. I say just run. Forget the witness protection. And Gustavo, unfortunately. So Teddy, he telling his CIA guy about how he found out about the KGB dude meeting up with Gustavo in the last episode. So he telling them, like, he looks Central American. So they say he got to be KGB. Start talking about that. So he asked the CIA guys, he asked him, Teddy, do you think Teddy, asking him does he think Gustavo, I'm stuttering like a mug, this review. Woo! So the CIA guy, he asked Teddy, basically asking him, does he think Gustavo's been compromised, basically. And Teddy's just like, I don't know, like, he was like, the way it was set up, like a bar setting and all that, he feel like it was the first contact. He's like, feel like it's initial contact. Teddy was like, but he don't know for sure because Gustavo has been acting weird, but it ain't because of the KGB, it's because of the DEA. And it's crazy that Teddy still don't know about that. That's crazy. Because when I hear when I hear KGB and DEA, I feel like KGB has more weight. But I could be wrong. Shoot, I don't know. So it's crazy that Teddy still don't know about Gustavo and the DEA. But he's like, yeah, Gustavo has been acting weird lately, so it could be that he's been working with the KGB dude. But he says that he feels like it was just the first contact. So they say that they need to put, I can't remember who they said play. They said Teddy told the CIA dude they need to put somebody's house under surveillance. And initially in this scene, I thought they was talking about Gustavo, but later on in the episode, I feel like they was talking about the KGB dude. Because I'm assuming Teddy probably followed the KGB dude after he left the bar with Gustavo and followed the KGB dude to where he live at. Oh, no, I'm not sure. He did follow him. Yeah. Because it gets later into the episode. Yeah, that's just later on. So speaking of telling people to run, because Gustavo was just telling his girl she needs to take her kids and run. We get this scene, so we know Franklin about to go to Kansas City, and he know the whereabouts of Teddy's father, so we know something about to happen with that. And he possibly going we gonna talk about it. So Franklin, he basically knows that if he do something to Teddy's father, of course, to Teddy's father, of course, Teddy probably gonna try to retaliate with Sissy, his last living parent. So Franklin go to Sissy at the shelter, basically just trying to tell her she need to run, and Sissy ain't trying to hear none of that. And he like, I know you feel like guilty because you stayed instead of like disciplining me for being in the drug game and all that. You joined me and you helped me, and we made this money and all that. And Sissy, in a way, she kind of agrees. But she telling him, like, she not running and all that. And Franklin just, like, please. He just like, begging her. Not begging her, but, like, in his own words, he's, like, pleading for her to leave. Because he don't want to see nothing happen to her, of course. So then we get this scene at the nursing home. And the baby mother is apparently, like, doing this orientation to try to get her mother in the nursing home. Which we all see is a ploy. Just to get to is a ploy just to get to Teddy's father. So she doing a walkthrough with I guess the woman that runs the nursing home, and she's like, we'll be back, Mom, saying it to her mother. And I'm like, they supposed to make it seem like she's supposed to be older, senile type stuff. Like, no, she don't even look like that. But as she mentions later, she black don't crack. So, yeah. So, after the baby mother and the nursing home owner, whatever, they walk off. So, baby mother's mother, she starts looking around, walking around. Because Teddy's father was sitting right, like, across from her. But when she started talking to her daughter and the woman that runs the nursing home, she was done talking to him, he disappeared. He was gone. So she starts walking around looking for his room, trying to find him. She finds his room. She's looking around. She don't see nothing in there. Nothing that would link him to Teddy. So she looks out the window and she see him sitting outside. She's like, okay, I'm about to go out there. Basically about to go out there to him. What they talk about is crazy. So Gustavo, he calls the DEA. He tell them call the raid off. And I was like, you ain't even got to call the raid. Call the raid off. Because he don't know. Because Teddy don't know about the DEA. So, yeah, call the raid off. Even though that joint would have been empty anyway. Like I said in the last episode, after Teddy saw the KGB dude, he probably was already hip to move everything out of that warehouse. So, wait. Did I skip that part? Because there was a part where Teddy and... I think I did skip something. Maybe not. I ain't skipped nothing. Franklin. Oh, I did skip something. I skipped the whole part. Okay, so before we get that scene, I gotta go all the way back. Before the scene with the baby mother in the nursing home and rolling her mother in there, we had a scene with Gustavo and Teddy. Cause I was like, hold on, cause I was about to say something and I didn't even remember talking about it. So Gustavo he meets up with Teddy, and he tells Teddy about the KGB dude. So I was wondering last episode, was he gonna tell Teddy? But he told him 2 days later. I don't know if that's suspicious in Teddy's mind or not. But he tells Teddy about the KGB dude, tells him what he wants, the deal and everything like that. He was like, we need to move everything out of the warehouse. Teddy was like, oh, I already did that. He was like, I did that last night when I saw him leaving the bar from talking to you. And Gustavo was looking like... So, so it's just like... Gustavo know Teddy was watching him. Or was he watching the KGB dude? Because he tells Gustavo he was tracking the KGB dude, but I think he was tracking Gustavo, and I'm pretty sure Gustavo thinks the same thing if he ain't dumb. So that's when Teddy was like, "It's good you told me this, though. It's good you told me this." So Teddy seems like he's convinced that Gustavo wasn't working with the KGB dude, but you know Teddy still got his guard up. He still don't trust Gustavo all the way. Then we had the scene with the nursing home scene with the mom and the baby mother enrolling her in. She trying to go find Teddy's father, and she sees him outside. Then we get to Gustavo. He calls the DEA, tells him, call the raid off. And the DEA dude was like, why? And he was like, Teddy moved all the product out the warehouse. He thinks the KGB's on to us. That's all he tell him. And the DEA dude looked pissed when he get off that phone. Ain't nothing I don't know if there's nothing he can do, but ain't nothing he can do in that moment. I had to skip the whole scene, dang. And that was an important scene. Like, that part had some important stuff. So, we get this quick little scene. Apparently, Franklin must have told Kane and his men that Louis frequents this little, I don't know if it's a stable or it's like a place where you can ride horses and stuff like that. So one of Kane's little henchmen, he get back in the car, and the other two henchmen in there, he like, yeah, the dude said Louis. He was like, the dude said Louis comes here a couple of times a week or something like that. So he tell the two dudes in the front, y'all gonna stake this joint out every day until y'all see her, basically. He was like, but Kane want her alive, so whatever y'all gotta do, that's how y'all get her when y'all see her here. So the baby mother, she outside with Teddy's father. She sit down, she smoking her cigarette. He's like, can't smoke here. Like, how you start a conversation? She's like, I won't tell if you won't. So they eventually start talking about their kids in a little quick way. She was like, my daughter wants me here, and he was like, well, you should be lucky somebody even cares that want to put you somewhere. But he ultimately telling her like, this place ain't even all that. So she pull out her car keys, talking about something. Well, my daughter left her keys with me. You want to dip up out of here, basically. So he with it, and they leave. They hop in the car, leave. You see them outside getting in the car through the window, but the woman who owns the nursing home, her back is turned, so you can't see it. But the baby mother, she could see it from her end as she fake signing the release forms and stuff for her mother. I was like, dang, they going through all this. What if, like, hopefully they using, I'm sure they using aliases and stuff, but I was just like, they doing all this. Like, I'm pretty sure that place got cameras. They gonna have you on camera taking the old dude out, and your mother ain't even about to be in that place. So it's weird. I don't know. But ultimately, the ultimate plan was kind of smart, like, just to take Teddy's father. Wait, let me make sure I didn't skip this. Did I skip anything right here? Yes, they leave the nursing home. So now Dion, he done went to After he done got beat up by Leon, he done went to Jerome and Louis. He's talking about something. Yeah, I'm about to be gone for a couple of days. Leon think he running stuff, but I'm about to come back, and I'm gonna take care of him. He was like, in the meantime, I expect y'all to stop serving him. This, that, and the third. And Louis, Louis like, I ain't even like, what that got to do with us? And he like, with all due respect, I ain't even talking to you. And I was like, oh Lord, here we go. But he telling him like, I had your back when it came to setting up them bras that work for Franklin and this, that, and the third. Like, I always been looking out for you and things like that. And then I think Louis say something else. Oh no, Louis ain't even say nothing. He just was like, I guess you take orders from your, and called her a B. So Louis was like, what you say, nigga? Like, ready to get buck with him. And Jerome was like, calm down, baby, I got it. Let me talk to him right quick. So Louis step off. Jerome poured him a drink. He basically telling him like, this issue ain't got nothing to do with me. He's like, this between you and Leon. He was like, I'm not gonna stop serving Leon, this, that, and third. And Dion was like, ain't gonna be no more Leon. He was like, and then what? What's gonna happen after that? And Dion was like, everything gonna go back to normal. Excuse my mom and talking to the cat. Y'all. Oh, Lord. Anyway, what was I even at? I'm all over the place now. She just threw me off with that. She know I'm in here recording. Anyway. So Dion telling them like everything gonna go back to normal after I take care of Leon. Jerome like, what's gonna happen after that? Ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't nothing gonna go back to normal. Like, what we do is not normal. The stuff that we deal with ain't normal. Basically, he tell him like, man, you told him and them two, they the last of a dying breed and all that stuff. And Dion was like, nah, I ain't the last of no dying breed. That's just you. You on your own with that, basically. So Dion, he leave out. So Louis, she come back in there. She like, Jerome, you okay? Consoling him, you okay? And Jerome yelled something. It sounded like he said, I'm out. I rewinded that part like 3 times. I still couldn't understand what he said. He said it was so, he like growled it. So I can't really remember what he said, but he was like, I'm out, something. And then he leaves. And she was like, Louis was like, you can't leave without no security. Where you going at? This, that, and the third. And Jerome, he just ain't trying to hear. He gone. Whose mom just? So we back with Franklin's baby mother's mother. I need to learn their names, child. We back with her and Teddy's father, and they drinking. He was like, I ain't know a martini tastes this good, and she started dancing. And she told him to get up. He's like, I can't dance. She was like, you got one lung and 2 left feet. Let's dance, because when they was talking earlier at the nursing home, and she was smoking a cigarette, and she offered him one, and he was like, asked me why I don't smoke, and he was like, lung cancer, I only got 1 lung. So she offers him to dance, and I can't dance, and he like, she like, you got 1 lung and 2 left feet, I can work with that. They start dancing. He starts to get a little like lightheaded. He starts to get a little faint. So he like sits down. She go get him some water. She's talking about, I'm sorry I pushed you. And he was like, he basically gets a little snappy. He's like, I don't need consoling. And he was like, but I'm sorry. And then they start talking about their kids and how they feel like they could have did better, things they could have did better, just stuff like that. And the whole time the baby mother's she listening, like through this little, I don't know, stuff, some device that lets you hear through the walls or whatever. So then we get another little Wanda and Sissy scene, but before that, we at the shelter and some woman and her kids, she manhandling her kids a little bit or something like that, aggressively, I guess. And Wanda ain't feeling it, so Wanda go over there. She's like, you Can't be doing that to these kids, things like that. So Wanda trying to snatch her up like the lady was trying to snatch her kid up. Dang, my nose. I know, so stomped up. But the coffee is like clearing it up. But Wanda basically tried to snatch the lady up, just like she was trying to snatch the kid up. And Sissy, she come over there, and she calmed everything down. And she asked the woman, she like, do you need a break, like basically from her kids, I guess? And the woman like, yeah. So Sissy tell the kids, she's like, how about you go with our one of our advisors or whatever, go get a nice clean clothes, nice food, and some toys. The kids was like, yay. They run off with him. And I don't know where the lady went. I guess she just took her break, I guess, that she needed. So Wanda, she apologizing to Sissy. She's like, I'm just so sorry. Basically, I don't remember what she said when she apologized, whatever. But Sissy was just like, don't apologize. Like, I know you mean well, just that and third. So at this moment, they like giving each other praise. Like Wanda just like, I don't know how you do it. Like, you take care of your family and you trying to make a difference in this world and take care of these people, things like that. And Sissy was, in return, she was like you are amazing. Do you know that? Like, the way you just attempt to keep healing and keep on going after all you've been through and things like that. So they giving each other praise, and I'm here for this black girl magic. Give all the praise to each other. So I was like, okay. That's another scene, like just like the scene, what was it, last episode with her and Wanda. They giving each other moral support. So I'm like, that's cool. I like that. So then we get to see Jerome. He pulled up to the auto body shop, and the mechanic is played by none other than Queen Sugar's Omar Dorsey. I was like, oh, he been in everything right now. He in Raising Kanan too. Well, he was in Raising. Well, spoiler alert. He's in Raising Kanan too. Power Raising Kanan. So I was like, okay, Omar Dorsey out here getting the cameos. Okay. So he played by the mechanic. Jerome pull up on him. He like, oh, I can't even help you right now, buddy. I can't even help you right now. Because Omar Dorsey, this whole situation with Jerome even being there, the whole time Jerome's there, like, Omar Dorsey's character, what's his character's name? I wrote it down. Clyde. Clyde's feeling like Jerome being here probably ain't nothing but some BS. So he tells Jerome off Bucks like, I ain't even got the time. I got too much business that I got to handle. I ain't gonna be able to do your car right now. Jerome give him like a stat talking about basically let me cut the line type stuff. So then they cut away from that. And they go back to Franklin's baby mother's mother. And Teddy's father. So they talking about their former spouses and how things went with that. And then it leads back to like parenthood. They still talking about their kids and stuff. I don't really remember all the conversations that the baby mother's mother and Teddy's father had. But they ultimately, what's the word? Damn, I'm so high. What's the word? They ultimately understand each other in a sense. Like, they see familiarities in each other, in each other's situations involving their kids and spouses and stuff like that. And in this moment, let me see. Oh yeah, in this moment when they talking about this and stuff, Teddy's father tells Franklin's baby mother's mother like his baby mother that her daughter should be happy to have a mother like her, basically. And remember, the baby mother's listening outside the house. So in this moment, you know, Franklin's baby mother's mother, she got to stay in character, of course. So she like, she nodding and has a smile, a smirk expression, but you could kind of tell in her facial expressions that she kind of feel guilty for doing what they doing with Teddy's father. Because in her mind, he seems like a nice dude. They just met. So she's feeling kind of guilty, and you can see it in her face. Ooh, excuse me. So Franklin touched down in Kansas City. He get off the jet, off the PJ. You know, Franklin got big money. Even though he down right now, he might have got his money stolen, but he still got enough money to be on the PJ. Okay. So he touched down in Kansas City. His baby mother there to pick him up. He get in the car. He keep getting the page. They don't say what this page is about, so I'm wondering if that's gonna come into play in the next episode. But he was like, yeah, my page has just been blowing up since I got off the plane. And the baby mother was like, that's something that you need to answer? He was like, nah, I'll wait and deal with it later. So he ignoring the pages. So we back at the auto body shop with Jerome. They shooting the ish. Him and Clyde. Talking about what they was talking about. Was they talking about boxing or football players or something like that? And Clyde was talking about how his kid just light up when he sees somebody, something like that. Basically talking about his kids, and they talking about how they I think they did something. I can't remember what the specific what it was, but I think they did a job together or something, and Clyde went away or something and then got out and like went the straight path. And I can't remember what the exact situation was, but then Jerome was thanking them for bringing like customers to Jerome's when Jerome had his little spat where he was what was Jerome selling? I can't even remember. But anyway, he was like thanking him for bringing like business his way and stuff. And Clyde was like, no doubt. Basically just telling them like you know, I had to realize now that I got people I got people that love me and things like that. I can't remember exactly what they talk about, but anyway, it leads to like this car keeps circling around. Clyde noticed it the first time, then the second time it ride back past. He tells Jerome, he's like, I'm pretty sure that's the second time I've seen that car. And Jerome was like, you sure about that? And Clyde was like, yeah. So Jerome go to his trunk, he pull out the gun. I don't know the names of guns, but it looked like an AK-47, one of them Jones the henchmen always have in them action movies, whatever. But he pulled out the big jump. Clyde was like, nah, what you doing? You can't be doing that here. And Jerome was like, what? It's like, what? And Clyde was like, look, you know I love you, brother, but you gotta go. And Jerome was like, you love me? You love me? He was like, it's only 2 cars in here, but you claim you were so busy to take my service. But you love me? And Clyde was like, look, man, I got a family I gotta get home to. I got people that's expecting me to get home tonight and things like that. He ain't even trying to deal with that foolishness right now. So he telling this is what he telling Jerome. So Jerome hear, but he don't hear because he's still like on the defense. So he put out some money, try to give it to Clyde. Clyde is like, nah, you keep it. And Jerome like, nah, you need it more than me. You would use it more purposefully than me, basically. And Clyde, he eventually takes it. Jerome, he getting in his car. He like, sorry everybody, because all these dudes, they out here, they fixing cars and stuff on the side or whatever. So Jerome like, sorry I ruined y'all day. He hop in his car, he ride off. Who else? Oh dang. Look at me saying stuff without having to look at the whole page. I said the whole page without having to look at it because I just had to flip. So then we get this little quick scene with the KGB guy. He's in his place where he lives at. I don't know if he's staying in a hotel room or if that's actually like an apartment that he's renting out or whatever it is. But wherever he's staying at, he's in there. He getting ready to leave or whatever. And he does this little thing with his closet door where he puts 2 fingers inside to have the door cracked. So he cracks the door and puts 2 fingers, so it's a 2-finger length of the door crack. And then he leaves, and as he leaves, it's like hella CIA dudes like surveilling in different areas that he don't even notice or whatever. So then Teddy, he going to the KGB dude's place after the KGB dude leaves. And he going through the place really efficiently, very meticulously. You know, Teddy going through it, like making sure ain't nothing out of place, thing, or so he thought. So he going through the place, whatever. He felt stumped at him in a moment, but then he noticed something high up. He found this little secret hiding spot, and this hiding spot just had like a whole bunch of little gay porn magazines. So he finds out. So he obviously finds out that the KGB dude is gay. And I remember the last episode, I was like, why are they giving us this scene with the KGB dude in the hotel room? Why we got to know he gay? So now we see it's going to be something about that. Teddy finds these gay magazines in the KGB dude's place in a hiding spot. So then we get this quick little scene with Jerome. He's sitting on the corner, sitting on his car, drinking, hella drunk. He's yelling at people, slurring, yelling at people and stuff as they leaving out of somewhere. And then his page is still blowing up, probably most likely Louis. He throw that junk right in the trash. So that was that. So then we get this last scene, which is kind of like 3 scenes in one. It's like it's 3 scenes, but it's kind of like, it's the last scene, but it's also 3 scenes. So baby mama's mama and Teddy's dad, they still sitting, they talking and stuff. I wrote this part down. They was talking about like fear and respect. And he said something about not seeing him. People don't see him. So I can't remember exactly what he said, but it makes her want to kiss him. So she kissed him on the lips. She's like, I see you, or something like that. Or you look like a man to me, or something. I can't remember what they was actually talking about. Like I said, they had so many conversations about different stuff. I can't remember exactly what they talk about. So then they hear the car outside, and Teddy's dad is like, it must be your daughter. She's like, yeah, it's my daughter and his son, and my son-in-law. So they was like, fun's over or whatever. So Franklin and the baby mother, they come in. So Franklin's still playing along, but at the same time, he ain't playing along. Like, if it go down, it go down. So he come in there, he like, you know how many people are worried about you guys and all that? So Teddy's dad, he does such a respectable thing. He tries to take the blame. He was like, don't blame. He says not to blame Franklin's baby mother's mother. He's like, this was all me. This doesn't try to like basically take the blame. He does the noble thing, and that probably makes the baby mother's mother feel even more worse because she's feeling a little guilty about setting this man up. So the baby the baby mother, she tell Franklin like, how about you go and call the nursing home and tell them that we found them and things like that. But the whole time, low-key code for telling him to go call Teddy and tell him you got his dad and you want your money, basically. So we flash to the KGB dude. He back at his place, and first he in there, he don't think nothing of anything. But then he get to his closet, and he put his finger in there, two fingers, and the door still cracked open. 3 fingers, door still, it was like 4 fingers, the door was cracked. The door was cracked a 4-finger length. Not two fingers like he had it. So he knows somebody was in there. Cause they wouldn't have specified that part so hard if it didn't mean anything. So it was 2-finger door length, door crack. And now it's 4, so he's suspicious. He know. So Teddy telling the CIA dude about what he found in this KGB dude's place. He was like, they was like a gay KGB agent. He was like, that can't be good. Like that's probably frowned upon. Like I said last episode, it must be frowned upon or something. Because why would they emphasize this scene with him in the hotel room with the gay dude? I mean, being gay in his hotel room, whatever. So I'm like, okay, this is obviously something that's not good. So Teddy was telling him like, we need to put his place under 24/7 surveillance now. Let's find out like everything about him. Teddy asked Gustavo, has he heard from the KGB dude? Gustavo like, no, I haven't heard from him. So as they talking and stuff, Teddy gets a page. And he look at his page and he's like, it's a Kansas City area code. And the CIA guy's like, ain't that, don't you got family in Kansas City? So Teddy calls. Franklin pick up the phone. So Teddy, Teddy's like, well, hey Franklin, what's going on? Like you didn't steal $73 million from him. So I'm like, hey, what's going on, Franklin? So I don't know if if Teddy is nervous in this moment. He probably just going along with it at this moment. So Franklin basically like, oh, nothing much, took a trip out here to the beautiful Kansas City. He's like, you got any recommendations? I'm trying to take your father out and have him, treat him to a good time, basically. So Teddy's like, oh, you with my father. So, so Franklin's basically like, no, Teddy. So I know we all remember Teddy's father Teddy and his father wasn't cool anyway because, Teddy's father blames Teddy for Teddy's brother's death. So they wasn't cool anyway. They left off on kind of like rocky terms anyway. So Teddy tries to tell Franklin like, oh, you think you did something by taking my father? You ain't do your research. Like, I don't even care about him. This, that, and the third. So Franklin like, what'd he say? Yeah, so Teddy like, I don't even care about him, but then he like, put him on the phone though. Put him on the phone. Put my father on the phone. So Franklin like, look, all my counts are still the same. Call such and such person, call them, and send the money back. And what'd he say? Yeah, so Teddy's just like, I'm not gonna do that, like. And Franklin's just like, you're not gonna do that? He's like, I'm giving you one last chance, like do this now. And Teddy, I can't remember what Teddy says, but Franklin, he gets up. He like, oh, you're not going to do it? Franklin gets up, walks over, and stabs Teddy's father right in the neck in front. And the baby mother and the mother, they gasp, like, oh, my gosh. Teddy's father falls on the floor. He didn't even see it coming. He did not see it coming. They was talking. He didn't even see it coming. It was so sad. He falls to the floor, start bleeding out. Franklin was like, you want to speak to your dad, Teddy? You want to speak to your dad? So he put the phone to Teddy's dad's face, and Teddy can hear his father through the phone, like breathing hard, like basically dying. He can hear his father dying through the phone. And Teddy's like, Dad, hey Dad, he's on the phone, Dad. So, like Teddy's dad is like bleeding out, dying, possibly already dead. So Franklin like, look, I want my money back, or the next person is going to be your girl, and then I'm going to go after your child, and then anybody that you care about until I get my money. I'm going to burn it all to the ground. And then Franklin hangs up, and Teddy just on the phone like shocked, like shook. He on the phone, he just like, he just killed my father. He says that he just killed my father. And he just like in shock. The CIA guy just looking like, oh man. Gustavo looking like, dang. And he grabbing the phone out of Teddy's hand because Teddy just like a statue. And it's just like, that was just crazy. Franklin, and a lot of people don't like that Franklin did that. I mean, I felt sad because because Teddy's dad seemed like a nice person. But he wasn't the best guy, because earlier in the seasons and stuff, he was blaming Teddy. But it's like, you can't blame Teddy for what that cokehead brother wanted to do with himself. You can't blame Teddy for that. But, what was I about to say? Yeah, Frank, I felt bad that Teddy's dad seemed like an okay person. But at the same time, you can't blame Franklin for what he did. First of all, he took $73 million from him. Excuse me. $73 million. Like, what can you do with that? And plus, Teddy killed his father, allegedly. I mean, not allegedly, supposedly. We ain't get no body. So, for me, I don't feel like Alton is dead. I feel like he been held prisoner or somewhere. I don't know. But if Teddy comes straight after Sissy after this, then Alton's probably dead. But, yeah, I feel like, why is people surprised by Franklin? Like, he gonna do anything, by any means necessary, he gonna do it. And like, Teddy killed his father, so it's just like, of course Franklin ain't gonna have no problem with doing that. So then Franklin, he's sitting down over the body. The baby mother and the mother, they looking at him like he a monster. They just also looking like in shock and things like that. So Franklin like, get out. You tell him, get out, real hard. Get out. So he poured gasoline over the body in the house, all that. He lights something, and then he walk out, and the house blow up, and he drive off. And I was just like, it's crazy. This episode was so crazy. That's why I said I would grade this episode at A+. It was so lit. Like, I didn't even... So this what the plan B was the whole time? I was wondering what their plan B was going to be. That's crazy. But that still didn't explain what happened with the... Oh, well, I guess him... telling him he gonna kill his father if he don't give him his money was him trying to find out what happened with that big withdrawal that happened. Cause remember they said some of Franklin's money got moved around, but a big withdrawal was taken out too. That they can only find out what happened to it through Teddy. So I guess this was the way. This was the plan B. So that's crazy. So now I'm wondering what the DEA's next move gonna be since Gustavo had to call off the raid. Gustavo gonna have to try to find out now where the product moved to and all that. And is Teddy even gonna tell Gustavo? Because does Teddy all the way believe that Gustavo is not working with anyone? I don't think so. So now we know Teddy and the CIA dude about to be surveilling the KGB dude 24/7. The KGB dude, but we know the KGB dude he knows somebody was in his place. So it's a whole bunch of twists and turns in this joint. So. But Franklin, he's straight savage now. Jerome out here lacking, no pager, no security. Kane's men probably gonna get to him. Then you got the dudes staking out the stable, the place for Louis. So it's about to be crazy. Like this the last season. It's about to get hectic. I already know. Man, those was like some predictions already. Like, because I was about to say my predictions, but I basically just said my predictions. Somebody gonna die. Like I said I've been saying this since the episode 1. Somebody important is gonna die. It might even be Franklin because this is the last season. Somebody gonna die. Yeah. What's up with Peaches? Is we gonna find out what happened to Peaches before the season end? They still ain't told us what happened with Peaches. But yeah, those are my predictions for the episodes to come. Yeah, please like this video, share the video, subscribe to my channel, and grade and comment below what you thought of the episode. Thanks for kicking it with me. See you next time. Peace.